Hey, what's happening, YouTubers? It's TheDreadman. Now, I don't know if you guys can see me or not, cause like the sun is out and it's like I'm shooting this video at like 9:30 a.m. on the East Coast today. But anyway, let me just get right into it. This is a subject I've been wanting to talk about for a little while, and basically I'm gonna get right into it. Have you ever been, I don't know, ashamed of your own race? Like, for example, like if I'm in public and I see like a black guy with his head slammed on the roof of a police car and like two other police surrounding him, and like it's a whole bunch of bystanders, like mainly a bunch of them white, and they're whispering and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden they look at me and stuff, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta hide my head in shame. That's an example of being ashamed of my own race. Now I think racism still exists on both sides of the fence, but I think that there's no bigger racism than within your own race. Like I said, I think this is the truth. There's nobody more racist towards black people today than black people. There's nobody more racist today than white people. There's nobody more racist to Asian people than Asian people. And there's nobody more racist towards Latino people than Latino people. That's, to me, that's just how it works. Now, while I might be ashamed of like sometimes of what my own people do, now I still do have pride in my race, but pride is often mistaken for racism. Like somebody had asked me a question a little like a while ago while I was on Blog TV. It said, why is it okay for why is it okay for why is black pride okay? Why is Latino pride okay? Why is Asian pride okay? But like when white pride is shouted, it's racist. Well, it's not. I'm happy that white people are proud of who they are. They're proud of their own race. If you're Irish, if you're English, if you're Italian, if you're Scandinavian, if you're Russian, if you're German. I mean pretty much either of those races or any race in between. I have no problem you have pride. The only thing, what makes it racism is if you think that you're better than me because you're either of those things. That's what makes it racist. And then on the other side of the fence, that you have people who hate their race or so ashamed of their race so much that they take on the characteristics of another race. Like this is just stereotypically speaking, like like a black guy who acts white, quote unquote, or a little white kid who tries to act black to fit in with the other tough gangster black kids, quote unquote. Don't do that. Be yourself. Just be you, because so you don't have to act like a thug to be cool. And that's another thing. You're stereotyped as black kids are stereotyped as being thugs. And here's the thing. Like with Asians. I hope Asians are actually watching this video, but Asians, more is expected of you. I mean, you're expected to be doctors and laser technicians and computer technicians. Me being a black teenage male, I'm expected to be like maybe a basketball player, a football player, a rapper, a comedian. Other than that, I'm expected to just be running the streets, a drug dealer, or in jail somewhere. We're not so much ashamed of our race as the stereotype that our race gets stuck with. Like, for instance, Asians, they're supposed to be zen-like and always disciplined and very smart, and the negative stereotype is the Asians have a small member, and I don't know if that's true or not, and I kind of don't care. And Latinos, mainly Mexicans, and I'm not categorizing all Latinos as Mexicans, but Mexicans are lazy, promiscuous. All they do is drink beer and stuff. And white people are the proper are proper, and they speak English very well, and they're generally smart, and they usually go far in life, which is kind of true. But you got the negative stereotype for white people that the racist backwater rednecks, and they look at all races as just beneath their feet. And then you got the black people who are the gangsters, the drug dealers, the thugs or whatever, the jailbirds, whatever situation you find yourself in as a race. And that's kind of what makes me ashamed. Because and another thing with black people is, like, black people, stop thinking that you're the only victims of racism, because you're not. Quit. And me personally, I'm admitting this. I'd be lying my ass off if I said that I never said anything racist about a white person. And white people, like, I know for a fact that white people use the N-word behind our backs all the time. I mean, and you think that that's gonna stop it? No. And I mean, and this is the biggest thing of all. The N-word. Should white people be able to use it? Should I'm fine with Latinos using the N-word. I'm fine. Well, Asians, I'm not really sure, because I never really heard an Asian use the N-word, but that's a whole nother side of the fence. And but if Asians are watching this video, Asians, what do you think? Do you think you should be able to use the N word? And people who are mixed race, mixed people, they fall into a racial category all their own, because they're a mixed kid might get made fun of and say like, oh, you're half black and half white, you're half Asian and half Latino, you're half black and half Latino, you don't even have a real race, and that might hit somebody there. But like especially like white people, white people are guaranteed to be mixed with something down the line. I'm saying, like, you think there's no such thing as people 100% white, especially like if you live in America. How much you want to bet that every white person you see walking around you, it has, something else in them? I mean, I'll bet you there's white people who are mixed with Native American. There's some white people who are mixed with black, even though you kind of can't see it because it's that far back. But this is just a little bit of theory. This is kind of a theory of mine, and I hope it works, and I hope I see it work. I think that, like, the more we mix race, the more that racism will die down, because, like, I think that more interracial breeding and more interracial relationships. I think that would be stop racism altogether. I could be wrong, but then again, like I said, we'll see it. Everybody will see in due time. But well, that's all I pretty much got to say about that, yo. Thank y'all for listening, and as usual, rate me, comment me, subscribe to me if you agree. Hell, even if you don't agree, just leave a comment and let me know what you think about this whole situation. In what situation should you be ashamed of your own race? Should you be ashamed of your own race? And will racism die down the more we mix race? And is your race the only victim of racism? Well, I'll see you guys some other time. This has been the Dreadman. Peace.